Welcome back everyone. How are you doing? I hope that you're having a wonderful time. I know that your first question is, where have you been teaching all this time? Well, we will get to that question, but let me see, how are you doing? How's your family doing? And how are you keeping up with my course? I hope that you've practiced well on my techniques, the techniques that I taught you in level 3, because today I brought to you another technique that we will get the most out of it. And as usual, the technique is going to be pretty easy. Everybody can use it, and I've applied that technique on my private students. They were brilliant, honestly. I just saw, and it was productive, to be honest. That's why I'd like to share it with you as well. I wish I could have a permission from my students that I apply this technique on to see how effective this technique is. So let's get back to the question, where have I been? Well, to be honest, I just moved to the UK, and I used to live in Hungary. So once you move from a country to another country, it just takes a bit of time to settle down, to organize your stuff, and then you can resume your normal life with your accommodation and so on. So that was the sole and only reason that I was away from you. But inshallah, we will keep up with the last 10 to 15 videos from this level. And there are a lot of students asking for the C1 level after this level, because they've already enjoyed my course a lot. Say they want to further improve their English language, their English speaking skills especially. So what I'll be doing, I'll think about it. I'm not going to promise you to publish C1 level as well, but let me see. I'll see, and if I could convince myself like you need another level, I will do so, I'll promise. So let's get back to today's lesson, today's technique. Just before that, as usual, I brought to you an audio track. It's just to improve your listening skills. Listen to it carefully, and then we will get back to the technique that I just taught you. And you will see in another part of today's video how I'm confidently speaking to native speakers. So it's just going to be like a motivation for you, so you can talk to native speakers just like me.
I can't wait for retirement. I'm praying I can retire early. I like my job, but I like staying at home and doing my own thing more. Many people fear retirement. They worry about what they'll do. I'm not worried at all. I know I can fill my days forever. Retirement is a time to do all the things you never had time to do because you were working. I have over 1,000 books on my reading list. I have hundreds of things to learn on the computer and lots of new hobbies. Early retirement for me would be 50. Most people retire at 60 or 65. I think 50 would be perfect. You're still fit and healthy. You can still do lots of things. I wonder what it feels like to retire so young, to wake up every morning and never think about work.
Great. So welcome back. The technique for today is just, once you forget a word in English, do not stutter, do not stop, do not think about the word more than it is necessary. What you could do, just say the word in your language, keep on and write it down, then look up for that word in dictionary, find the meaning of it in English, and then write it down, and then repeat whatever you just said and put the English word in that context again. So just be careful of one thing, that you could use today's technique only while practicing English. You cannot use today's technique with a native speaker, okay? So what you could do, once you talk to a mirror, once you talk to yourself, once you are rehearsing, and once you're practicing on your English, let's say you're talking about your daily routine and you will forget a word. I will give you examples, okay? No worries. You forget a word instantly and you don't know what to do. You think about it, you go to dictionaries, you look for, but I have a better method for you, which I have already applied this technique on my private students, and believe me guys, it just worked like a magic. But you just need to give it a bit of time, like maybe 2 weeks, 1 month. Just practice this technique with the rest of the techniques. You will see the results. It's just going to be brilliant, believe me. Just trust me and try that technique. So you're talking about your daily routine, suddenly you will forget a word. What you could do, just keep on the conversation, keep on your practicing, and say the word that you just forget in your own language. If your Arabic is good, if your Arabic is better than your Kurdish, then just say it in Arabic. If you only know Kurdish and English, then just say the word in Kurdish. Okay, but do not forget to write it down so you can look up for it in the dictionary. Okay, I'm just going to give you an example. Let's say that I'm talking about my daily routine and suddenly I will forget a word in English. Until today, or you can say so far, I've gone through many kۆrس in life, but I've never call them nadawa. Every time I شکست دەخۆم. I learn something new. My goal is to turn all of this into change through effort and بەردەوامی. You see, I just 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just say that I forgot these words. What you could do is now look up for these 4 different words and expressions in dictionary and write them down in English and replace the Kurdish words with it. Okay, for example, steinige kurs becomes difficult things, hard things, obstacles. Kolum nadawa. I've never given up. Every time I fail, shkaz dachom, and I learn something, my goal is to turn all of this into change through effort and berdawami, persistence, or keeping on. Okay, so let me just read it again. Let's say that I looked up in dictionary for these words, I put them back in the context and see the results by yourself. Until today, I've gone through many difficult things in life, but I've never given up. Every time I fail, I learn something new. My goal is to turn all of this into change through effort and persistence. Or in American accent, you say persistence. You see? Let's try another example. A good friend is someone who doesn't okay, and always supports you. I have a few great friends that I talk about everything. لدوای خزان, a good friend is the most important part in my life. Let's just say that I didn't know these 2 words. The first one is nadirkenet and the second was لدوای خزان. So I will just repeat it after knowing the meaning of this in English. A good friend is someone who doesn't, you can say, expose your secrets or doesn't spill your beans. It's an idiomatic phrase and always supports you. I have a few great friends that I talk about everything. لدوای خزان becomes after family. A good friend is the most important part of my life. Let me just give you another example. This morning when I woke up, I هستێکی خۆشەویستیم بۆ سروشتە بوو, and because the sun was shining warmly, a little later I سلام کرد لە my neighbors with a warm smile and چووم to school. On the way there, I thought about myself and made some plans for tonight because I want to study more. So let's look for these 3 words. هستی خۆشەویستی بۆ سروشت, سلام کرد and چووم. هستی خۆشەویستی بۆ سروشت, I felt love for the nature. And سلام کرد, you can say I greeted my neighbor, you can say I said hello to my neighbors. And چووم, you can say went, or you can say headed to. Headed to is more, let's say, advanced. You can use this one. So let me just say it again in English. This morning when I woke up, I felt love for the nature because the sun was shining warmly. A little later, I greeted my neighbor with a warm smile and headed to school. On the way there, I thought about myself and made some plans for tonight because I want to study. I want to study more. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's just like a piece of cake, right? As usual, my techniques are pretty easy and everybody can use it. Now you can see me talking to a native speaker. And this is my English. I don't know. You can be the judge.
Yeah, you're doing really well. And yeah, tell me about your hometown.
Well, my hometown, I live in a city called Zmani. The name is on behalf of the king that, established the city. That was
Maybe you can
Zmani
send
king.
it to me on the chat. Sorry. Maybe you can send it to me on the chat. I like to Google it and share my screen.
Zlemani. City. Zlemani city.
Found
Okay,
it, yeah. Share my screen. So this is where you're from.
Well, the nickname is the capital of culture because so many of the poets, authors are from this city in the Kurdistan region. I don't know if you have heard of the Kurdistan. Have you heard of it before?
Yeah, actually. I went to school with a lot of Kurdish people.
Oh yeah, well, you must be familiar with the Kurdistan. We have the Great Kurdistan. The Great Kurdistan of the Second World War was divided into 4 parts. The northern part is located in Turkey with like 25 million Kurds. We have the southern part from Iraq, which is where I'm from, and we have the eastern part, which is from Iran, like 6 million, and then the Syrian part, which is like 3 to 4 million Kurdish. I'm from the Iraqi Kurdistan, It's an autonomous region. By autonomous, I mean we have our parliament, we have our military, we have our government, we have our prime minister, but we only share the, let's say, the passport and the border with Iraq. So sometimes, yeah, people confuse us with Arab. No, we are Kurdish, we have our culture, our language, everything is almost different. We only share like I think the religion is the only thing that we share with them. We are mostly Muslim, and they are Muslim as well.
And the different, so the Iraqi one and the Iranian one, they all sort of come together.
They unlock it. You know, after the Second World War and the British Empire and the French took over the Ottoman Empire, I don't know if you have any idea about the history or not. So after they took over the Ottoman Empire, they divided the Kurdistan into 4 parts, so they will not do some like uprising, something like that, against their realm at that time. So that's why they divided the Kurdistan into 4 parts. So they will not do any uprising, any referendum, anything like that. They would be separated and they would be weaker. That's how that idea came from. That's why they are separated. But we have the same language. We speak Kurdish, but then when you subdivide the language to accents, we have different accents. We can understand each other. We can have like light conversational speech together. But if we go to, let's say, the extension, if we want to extend our speech, we might face difficulty. Like if I talk to a person from the Netherlands, Kurdistan, or Turkey.
That's super interesting. And I can see it's very mountainous in your area.
Yes, that's why we have so many resorts, some nice places to spend your time there. That mountain you see is called Asmar Mountain. It's like the Big Ben of London. Once you go over the mountain, you can see the total city, the plain view of the city. So you will get mesmerized easily. It's a very nice view on the top of the mountain.
Yeah, look, it looks amazing when there's snow as well. Does it get pretty cold?
We have the 4 seasons. Winter, then spring, then summer, and then autumn. We have all seasons together in Kurdistan. So we don't have like a very hot, boring weather. No, we have all 4 seasons. So guys, today we have another silent letter, and that silent letter is, I can say it's important. It's not that important because usually you don't pronounce it, but you need to know that it is silent. Okay, and today's silent letter is C. You know that C is usually pronounced as K, as in the word back, okay, picnic. But when it's followed by I-E-Y, you usually pronounce it as C, like city, ceremony, cycle, okay? But let's see when it is silent. So usually C is silent when S precedes it. Let's say when S comes before it. For example, you say abscess, ascend, assent, conscience, conscious, crescent, disciple, evanesce, fascinate, fluorescent, muscle, obscene, resuscitate, scenario, scene, scent, science, scissors, transcend. Okay, Transcend is a digital electronic company. So let me just go over it again. Abscess, ascend, ascend, conscious, or in American accent you can say conscience as well. Conscious and conscience. Crescent, disband, disciple, evanesce, fascinate, fluorescent, muscle, obscene, resuscitate, scenario, scene, scent, science, scissors, transcend. You see, all of these words, the C is preceded by S, or S just came before the C, so you will only pronounce the S. You don't pronounce the C. The C letter is silent in these cases. Okay, so we only need to know these words. And that's it for tonight's lesson. The only part left of this lesson is the film suggestion section. I will suggest to you a film that you can watch it later. Thank you very much. We will catch up later.